We turned back around, we had Tracy Braxton.
Oh.
And then we had, Tom Green.
Okay.
But we ain't have this cat. I made sure.
You ain't ready for this?
I made sure to go out and make sure that this cat came through.
Uh-oh.
I had to. Ladies and gentlemen, in the studio right now with us in the JU Dolphin Radio studio, we have funny man, Mr. Rodney Perry. Make some noise for him.
That's my dolphin.
That
was what?
Sir. I don't think
That's not a dolphin noise?
Anyway,
what's up, man? Hey, thank you for having me, man. I really appreciate it. My name is Rodney Perry. To my right, the voice you hear, the little kind of lady-like, manly voice.
You play too much.
The Caitlyn Jenner you hear to my right.
Whatever, honey. I'm a woman through and through. I came in this world like
Kiana Dancy. Say hi to the people.
Hello, people. How y'all doing?
How you doing, Miss Kiana?
I'm great. Thank
And
you.
here with your edges on fleek. Huh?
You play too much. You
Edges
see
on
that? They
fleek.
trying to grow back. They trying to grow back. But listen, y'all play me. I come in the studio, ain't got no water. They don't know my name. But they rolled out the red carpet for the king, though.
But you travel like a superstar. I saw y'all on Periscope. I was Periscope.
Can we talk about this?
No.
You had.
Kiana.
Mr. Perry, tell us about that, because I was
The name of the tour, Off the Chain Live, my show on Bounce TV.
Right.
We've been doing it for a few years. I shot a special number one original ever on the network.
Yeah.
I Get Love, believe that. So they said, Rodney Perry, we're doing the tour, right? Who you want to go? I said Kiana. Of course, she rocked with us last year.
Right.
I said my man Lav Love.
Lav Love.
They said okay.
Okay.
Then I pull up because I'm thinking we all caravanning.
Right. Okay.
And Kiana got to drive.
She got a driver.
How Kiana got to drive? Rodney Perry is driving his damn self.
What's in your rider? What's in your rider, sir?
You know what? My rider
It
needs to have a driver in it.
Right.
But we had Latitude tonight, right here in Jacksonville. It goes down. Man, it's gonna be crazy.
It's gonna be crazy. Y'all Latitude 360.
Yes.
Y'all have a special guest joining y'all local Duval comedian.
Yes,
so I
sir.
heard
Yeah.
Mr. Shay Clemens is gonna be.
Shay is a beast. I've been rocking with Shay. You know. In the age of social media, you usually meet people online before you ever meet them live.
Exactly.
And man, I watch some of his videos on Instagram, and this dude is just crazy. I love his perspective. So we're gonna rock out tonight, man. We get to hang out with Shay. He's gonna be our tour guide.
Shay gonna be the tour.
Y'all going to Waffle House.
Duval.
Come on.
I need to eat.
Waffle House? You gotta go to the Waffle House.
I gotta go to Waffle House.
We live in Atlanta though. So
That's true. Yeah, y'all.
I come to Duval County. Y'all offer me Waffle House. What kind of hospitality? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not sure.
This ain't modern communication. Like this a rock we talking into.
You know what? I can't stand it. But anyway, where's the crab legs and
Oh yeah, we got them. We got some blue crab legs for you. We got that garlic and everything. Gonna be in the state with your breath hot.
I want a lady with some blue legs. I like all the old women.
We got them here.
You got them.
We got an old gray hair turned blue a little bit. We got them right here in Jacksonville.
See that? That's what I'm talking about.
Find them at Piccadilly. I got you.
Man, you
so
gonna hang out.
I gotta ask you, Mr. Perry, since we got you in the studio.
Yes, sir.
Now you were on the show Who's Got Jokes.
I was.
And Lav Love, did he win that competition?
Lav Love did win our show, man, and he did a magnificent job. And he was the first winner we had to win and not have like other radio support or have another show going at that. So it was just pure comedy.
Right.
And and he and I became friends because of that. So it was a real stretch to even ask him to come on this tour because he's a headliner. Right. But he's been blazing this tour. So you'll see him tonight, man. Y'all get a feel for it.
Yeah, Lav Love, he came to Jacksonville I saw him 2 years ago in Jacksonville, killed it at Miss Gigi's Comedy Club. And Mr. Perry was on Who's Got Jokes, Bill Bellamy, Tommy Ford.
Yeah. Co-host. I need all my credit.
All the credit. Great show, amazing show.
Yeah.
And then you turn back around. We saw you a few years later.
Yes, sir.
And you was on. We were singing this in the car. I ain't gonna lie to you. We were singing the theme song in the car. Go ahead and do it. Come on, do it. Do it till you're satisfied. Whatever. You were on the Monique show.
Yeah, man. Rock the Monique show.
You was with the Academy Award winner Monique. How was that? How was it working with her through that whole time?
Man, she's an awesome human being. Before we ever did television together, we did radio. We used to sit in the studio just like this. She would be in your seat. I was in my seat where I'm sitting now. And we just rocked out, man. We did radio for like 8 months.
Wow.
And that show ended, and when it ended, she told me, she said, Rodney, bigger and better things are coming. I get a call about a month later, and she's like, Rod, I just made the biggest deal in BET history, and I want you to roll with me.
Man.
And I was
she brought you on over with.
And she brought me on. When we relocated to Atlanta, we started shooting a TV show.
And it was crazy. She was the first African American late night talk show host.
Female, absolutely. Absolutely, yes.
She was the first female late night talk show host, and that was a crazy. I was in high school, but the penthouse was like that place where you go.
Right, I said, wait, this is age you?
Yeah, I was in high school. I was in high school. Yeah,
wow, that's crazy.
And the penthouse
5 years
was
ago now, so that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, 5 years ago. So it was like a crazy experience for us just to stay up and watch that and just see her go through that whole journey, and then to see you right there as kind of the MC, the house comedy.
And McMahon,
you was all over the show. Y'all had some crazy. Who was your favorite guest that you met through the Monique show?
Belle Bill DeVoe. You know, I'm a big Belle Bill DeVoe fan. I love New Edition. They came on the show. Big Daddy Kane. You know, I'm a Big Daddy Kane fan. I'm old school. You know what I'm saying? But you know, Young Money came on.
Okay.
All of them. So when Young Money came on, right? I got them to make me a costume, and I went when they was taking their picture. I stood in their group. Nobody was tripping. It was Nicki Minaj, Drake. Dude, nobody really. They was Young Money, but nobody knew them individually yet.
Right.
And so I'm standing up there. I told them I'm old money. I got a wife beater on, and I'm up there. So I still got the picture. I posted on my Instagram so you can see it. But yeah, it was crazy. That was a great time, and to meet all those guys before it really speaks to what their show was, because since then there hasn't been a vehicle for African Americans to be on television and to showcase to us who you are.
Right.
So we made old people's career, and then we took a lot of young people and took them to the next level as well.
Right. Now what's crazy is in about two weeks, Monique is going to be joining us. Her DVD Blackbird is coming out to theater.
Oh, nice.
It's coming out to DVD. Her DVD movie.
Nice. It's a great movie. I saw it.
I haven't seen it yet. I wanted to wait till it come to DVD so I can buy the DVD because it didn't release locally in Jacksonville.
Got it.
So I had to wait till the DVD come out. So I wanted to catch this Blackbird. She's going to be here in the studio joining us, talking about that and talking about other things.
Okay.
Let's just split this up because I talked to Monique.
Okay.
I talked to her lawyer.
Okay.
And
Ricky Anderson.
And speaking with them, I never at one point got the feeling that she was difficult.
Okay.
I got nothing but love from Miss Monique, and Miss Monique is like that auntie that you always want.
Yeah, she's your auntie, she's your sister, she's your mama. This is the thing, and I'll say this to all your female listeners, and I'll say this to a young lady sitting next to me and a young lady holding the camera.
Hello.
Everything for women is harder. Everything, and if you show any pushback, you're potentially going to be looked at as a bitch. And so I think that's what we're seeing in a large respect in reference to Monique. She's the most honest, honorable person I've ever worked with in this business, and I work with a lot of people. When she told me something, it went through. So I tell people all the time, if you got a problem with this lady, it's probably something you did.
Okay, that makes sense.
Now she ain't no punk.
Right.
If you push her,
Baltimore, right?
She might swing on you. That's where we get at.
That's Nikki Parker. Everybody know.
Exactly.
Everybody know.
So, but at the end of the day, what we have to understand as artists is there are consequences for all your actions.
Right.
So if you go, I'm not going to do this, you got to know on the flip side there are people that's going to penalize you for that.
Right.
And so that's just what it is in a nutshell.
Right. But she did a great job as Betsy.
She killed Betsy.
She killed that one.
She played Ma Rainey Black Bottom.
Yeah, she did a great job in that.
Yeah, so, and shouts out to Queen Latifah.
Queen Latifah, that was the role I can't even speak on that one. That was the role for Queen Latifah. She was the only person that could play that part.
Yeah, it was a great coming out party for her.
Great. Now let me ask y'all this: are y'all watching Empire?
I watch Empire. Anything black, I watch.
Anything black, you watch. So
let me tell you something. If the screen go black, I'm like, I want everything black.
So what I love right now on television, because we get bounced here. I'm from Palm Coast originally. We didn't get bounced. So I get bounced at the school. So I'm watching Man and Wife. I believe it's the show Man and Wife
with the mans.
I'm watching Off the Chain, but also on Fox I'm watching Empire. On ABC I'm watching Blackish, and Anthony Anderson is killing that show. And it is a great time for African Americans on television. It's almost like the 90s again.
You know, let's not forget Power.
Power.
Let's not forget, any number of African American shows. Family Time that comes on Bounce TV. There's a lot of black shows out there now. And this is the dope thing. We were absent from television for over a decade.
Absolutely.
We were absent. You know, people of color were absent, not just blacks, but Latins and others.
Exactly.
So now to see us come back is a big deal. So what happened is there was a writer's strike almost 10 years ago.
Okay.
When the writer's strike happened, then there's a lot of black actors that kind of was out of work.
Right.
Right? And so what happened? There was a resurgence of reality because you don't need writers to write reality. But what we find out now, 10 years later, is that reality is very written.
Right.
You know, but they call them producers.
Right.
Okay. So now it's come full circle. Like life happens in 10-year windows.
Okay.
And so we've come out of that 10-year window of reality being king. It's not going anywhere. Don't think reality is gone.
Right.
Because reality is here to stay. But scripted shows are coming back.
Right.
So look for more sitcoms. Look for, I think there's like 3 or 4 coming down the pipe. There's Mike Epps got a new sitcom, Uncle Buck. I actually read for Uncle Buck, and I was in the final. I was within the last 2 or 3 guys.
Okay.
You know, and you only thing you want as an actor is that the guy to get it. You go, he good. He gonna kill it.
Right.
And he will. Mike Epps will kill it. He's got because the role has a heart to it. He has that heart.
Okay.
And he's a really good actor too.
And now, when it comes to acting, I gotta talk about you because you were in Tyler Perry's
Medea's Big Happy Family.
You was in that role, and we felt that. We was like, we all know that guy. We know him.
Yeah.
And now we know Mike Epps got the role of Richard Pryor.
Yes.
And I want to ask you this as an actor.
Okay.
How hard is it for you to come out of that role? We know that role for Richard Pryor has to be deep. And Mike Epps came to Jacksonville, the Black and Brown Comedy Get Down tour.
Yes.
I went to the show.
Okay.
Mike Epps closed the show.
As Richard Pryor.
And that
Really? How was that? Well, give me your perspective.
But see, Richard was a little bit before my time. I was born in '93, so
Okay.
I grew up on the late Martin, then Cat Williams, and all that. So I didn't.
So you don't know Richard?
I don't know Richard, but I knew it wasn't Mike.
Okay.
I was like, who is that guy? I was like, I'm laughing, I'm funny.
Wow.
I'm like, but who is that? And he had the hair, he had the mustache, and it was surreal. I'm like, this ain't Mike.
Yeah.
Like I was disappointed but happy at the same time. I enjoyed the show.
You was looking for Mike.
I was looking for Mike.
You know, that's one of the things I worried about when I heard that Mike specifically would be playing this role because Mike is Mike.
Right.
But I think who better to usher a new generation like yourself into what Richard Pryor is to comedy.
Right.
Like Richard Pryor is the grandfather to my generation.
Okay.
If Eddie Murphy is probably the father, Richard Pryor is probably the grandfather to my generation. Of comedians. So I once saw Mike over a decade ago at the Improv Comedy Club in LA, and he was on stage, and I was like, yo, this dude can be Richard Pryor.
Right.
I said it then.
You said it then.
So he has enough of the dark that Richard Pryor was.
Right.
He's honest enough to do what Richard Pryor does. And this is the thing. You have to be a good actor.
Yeah.
Like everybody that's a comedian is not a good actor.
Exactly.
You know, it's a lot of funny people that can't act their way out of a paper bag.
Right.
So Mike Epps is a really good actor. And, you know, some people will even argue he's a better actor than the comedian. And I mean, if you saw him in Bessie, he smashed that.
Right.
Very subtly though. He didn't beat you over the head. It was a real subtle role for him. And so it wasn't ha-ha, laugh, but it was really a great performance. I saw him at the barbershop last week. I was like, dude, you smashed Bessie. He was like, thanks.
Yeah.
Humble dude.
He's a good cat.
We also know that people on Periscope follow Rodney Perry on Periscope.
Word up.
We also know that you real good friends with Kevin Hart.
I am.
And then he done told a couple of stories. Now, can we go through and clarify what's real and what's false?
Go ahead.
'Cause Madden, what's going on? Did you say he was in a Velcro suit?
First of all,
okay,
let's start with the Madden.
okay, let's go with Madden.
Kevin Hart and I used to play Madden almost every day.
Gotcha.
We start playing online. He moved to LA. We start coming to each other's house. We would play. We probably played over 1,000 games.
Gotcha.
I'm willing to say it's at least 60-40 my way.
60-40 your way.
At least.
60-40.
As if you're going to say you lost.
I'm not going to say I lost. You're right about
I'm a
that.
terrible person. I couldn't play with nothing. We expect you to say that.
Oh, good. Good job. Good for you. Now, but this is the thing about Kevin Hart. He's a solid dude, man.
Gotcha.
Like I saw cats blow up. I saw Cat Williams blow up. I saw Kevin Hart blow up.
Right.
And Cat, what was dope about Cat is this: he always knew.
Yeah.
When nobody knew, Cat Williams knew. Like I remember we did a show it was a big show. You know, like you do those big shows like Saturday the Entertainer or somebody, and you're like one of the guys on the show.
Right.
And they didn't have no dressing room for Cat. Cat went into a bathroom, got a sheet of paper, and drew a star on the wall and put it on the door of the bathroom.
Come on.
It was like, I'm a star whether y'all know it or not.
Right.
It was little stuff like that. He used to come to the comedy clubs with a 7-foot guy that would hold an umbrella over his head.
Oh man.
Everybody was tripping. Earthquake like, who is this dude with the umbrella? I'm trying to keep the hater aid off.
Right.
Who does that?
Nobody but Cat.
Nobody but Cat. So
Cat.
Cat always had a picture of what it was. Now, Kevin's journey was a little different because Kevin came to Hollywood with a TV show.
Right.
You know, I don't know if you're familiar, he had a show called The Big House.
Right.
I was actually the warm-up guy on The Big House. Anytime you see a live show, there's a human being that keep that show charged up. I was that guy for that show. Kevin and I go back because we was playing Madden every day, see where I got a job from the Anyway, so that show come and go. Hollywood kind of took their hands off Kevin for a minute. Mm-hmm. He already had Soul playing, he had the TV show, and Hollywood took their hands off. And so Kevin went to work. He started playing colleges, he started playing comedy clubs, and he built up from nothing. $1,000 a week, $2,000 a week, $3,000, and then he did the what the turning point for him was it
I'm a Grown Little Man, or was it the Cedric the Entertainer Shaq Presents?
It was Shaq Presents with Cedric the Entertainer. And my best friend works for Kevin.
Okay.
And what he explained, he said when Kevin turned and walked off the stage and raised his hand, he said that was the moment.
That was the moment right there.
That was the moment.
That was the moment.
And get this is a little tidbit a lot of people don't know. Bill Bellamy was supposed to get that. He was supposed to headline.
Okay.
Bill Bellamy. And Bill's manager told me this. He said Bill was kind of him and hawing because Bill didn't really know the dudes.
Right.
The promoter's like, man, who these dudes? I don't know about this.
Right.
Shaq wasn't attached to it at that point.
Gotcha.
So it was just some dudes doing the show in Phoenix.
Gotcha.
And he was like, man, I don't know about that. And Kevin said, I'll do it.
Right.
All that.
And the rest is
of that is history.
And you got to think, that could have been anybody's night. Who was on D-Ray was on the show. Ari Spears was on the show. Tommy Davidson was on the show. That could have been anybody's vehicle. So I say all to say this, like if you listen to my voice right now, you never know what it's gonna be.
Right.
You never know what it's gonna be that explodes you out.
Right.
And so Rodney Perry, my journey is this. I've been doing a lot of different stuff for a long time. So I work with Bill Bellamy on Who's Got Jokes. I work with Monique on her show on a late night talk show. And so I remember when I was in the Navy, I served in the Navy from 1990 to 1998, and I had one of my boys who used to always call me to help him wash his car. Hey, Rod, come help me wash my car, dog. Come help me. I'm like, dude, what I look like washing your car? He say, dude, you're not washing my car. You washing the car that you're going to have one day. Now, that might have been some bull,
Right.
But I took that idea. So when I was working with Monique on her show, I was helping her wash her car. Mm-hmm. When I was working with Bill Bellamy on his show, I was helping him wash his car.
Right.
Now, on Bounce TV, off the chain, I get to wash my own car.
Washing your own car.
And so it prepared to help you wash your car.
And now you helping me wash my car.
Right.
And you have your own car one day.
I'm carrying the bags, I'm brushing his hair, putting grease on his list.
Exactly.
You ain't just washing your car, you arm around on them tires and everything.
Did you see me on the road? You all right, boy. I'll take you on the road. I need a new washer. So you got fired. You fired.
What? You gotta go.
So you in Jacksonville tonight.
Yes, sir.
You're here tonight at Latitude 360.
Yes, sir.
What can now I'm gonna tell you, I saw you way back Comic View days.
Okay.
I'm not sure if you're doing this bit tonight. I'm not gonna go to the
I'm not.
Okay, you're not.
Okay, I know for a fact. Whatever you're gonna say, I'm not.
It is.
But tell me what it is.
My favorite bit that you do is the junior bit.
Wow. I'm definitely not doing
Okay.
it. I'm definitely not doing
I come from
but
a
that's
family
my mom's
of 7.
favorite bit.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a favorite.
I'm the youngest of 7, and we got a junior.
7?
The youngest of 7, we got a junior.
Wow.
Same mama, same dad.
Junior.
Yeah.
Larry, tell Junior I said comment for you. The show right now is super energized, top to bottom. Not only me, Lav Love come out and rips the paint off the wall.
Yes, he does.
Then what we wanted to do, we wanted to give the voice of every city we go to a legitimate voice.
Right.
So we go get a Shay Clinton.
Okay.
We get Shay to come on and show Jacksonville how he do.
Right.
Yes.
What he do with us on that level.
Right.
Then he smash. Then we got Kiana dancing.
Yeah.
She the Beyonce of the show.
Beyonce.
I love it.
She bring the legs out. She got a gap in her teeth. All the dudes get excited.
Yeah, she can't say no with an SRTH, but that's
Use
her.
a lot. I can pronounce all my words.
You
And I
pronounce them all?
enunciate everything that you're looking for me to say.
Ooh, that
Yeah,
was
she
nice.
did it.
Were they good?
That's the first time she ever did that.
Oh, way too much. I tried me with this game, but you know, I had a choice.
I gotta tell you this. I was watching the interview. I think I was watching Chris Rock.
Okay.
It was Chris Rock. It was one of those well house known comedians.
Yes.
And they were saying that there's 2 comedians that they would not want to follow. And they said one of those comedians is Tony Roberts. And the other one is Rodney Perry.
Who said that?
And they said because they have so much energy, y'all so energized on stage. Yeah. When y'all come up the stage, y'all drenching in sweat.
Oh yeah, that's true, man. Tony Roberts is. I followed Tony before and really was him watching backstage, shaking my boots. You know, he's an amazing comedian. I mean, it really matters where you live comedically, because I'm physical. Steve Brown is one of those guys you don't want to follow. People that live on that physical level. Ronaldo Ray, God rest his soul, he passed away last month, and I used to do this bit that was super energy, man. And he pulled me to the side after the show. Hey, young man, I got news for you. You ain't gonna be able to do that your whole career. And he was right. Like that particular bit, I have a heart attack right now.
All right, so we're gonna play a game with both of y'all. I'm gonna ask y'all. It's either you pick one or the other, so it's called one or the other.
Kiana, you first.
Oh man.
I'm gonna throw him out. So we're gonna go you first, and we're gonna get his answer. I'm gonna throw him out. Say one or the other, and then if you want to tell why, tell us why. And it's comedians, it's actors, it's everything.
I love it. I'm about to steal this bit. I love it.
Why you can't go first? Why can't you do an example?
Oh, stay with
That's why.
Go ahead.
Here we go. Will Smith or Jamie Foxx?
Ooh. Well,
Nasty.
I say Jamie Foxx.
Jamie Foxx?
Yes,
Okay.
I like that good old chocolate. Okay.
Rodney, Will Smith or Jamie Foxx?
Will Smith. I'm a Fox fan. You know, I was on the Foxhole radio show for years. So Jamie Foxx has given me jobs. Will Smith haven't. It's a no-brainer. Jamie Foxx.
All right, here we go.
Yeah.
Richard Pryor or Eddie Murphy?
Eddie Murphy.
Richard Pryor for me.
Richard Pryor for you.
Yeah, Richard Pryor. Richard Pryor predates Eddie Murphy.
Gotcha.
But Eddie Murphy is why I do comedy.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I wanted to do comedy from seeing
Eddie
Murphy, but there is no Eddie Murphy without Richard Pryor.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Monique or some more?
Oh,
That's tougher for her.
that's hard for
That's
me.
easy for me.
Because, can I say, because Monique is the reason why I do comedy.
Okay.
And then Samore is my mentor to this day.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
So that's no-brainer.
It's no-brainer. It's Samore.
It makes sense.
You were just hanging with some more. She listening, waiting on you to say the wrong thing.
I'm gonna play this back when Monique comes in. See what she said?
Yeah.
But I got a great story about Monique. Monique
Okay.
gave me a start because when I was at the Houston Improv, I was standing in line,
She's a
people were
big fan,
laughing, and whatever. I was standing in line, and everybody was like laughing at me because I was telling jokes. Monique was like, "Who's making these people laugh in my line?" We were standing there to get a book autograph. So they looked at me. It was me. So she said, "Come here." She said, "Are you a comedian?" I said, "No." She said, "So all these people are laughing at you just because what?" I said, "I guess I'm funny." So she gave me her phone number, her sister Millicent's number, and told me to call her. She said, "The next time I see you or hear from you, you need to have been on stage." And I never called her. Wow. Because I didn't know what to call her and say. I wasn't a comedian. I worked for Samsung. Then when I saw her again 2 years later, it was from me opening for her.
Oh man, that's
crazy. I would have never done it had she not said, "You know what, you have a talent, and if you don't use that talent, you're wasting it." So I am so grateful that she even gave me that little nudge. I would have never done that ever.
That's beautiful. And then you dissed her and said some more. Great. So
I can't stand it. Monique, I love you. I love you.
I would absolutely say Monique. Monique is she gave me jobs. She's probably put $1 million in my pocket since I've met her.
You got $1 million?
I've had it go through my family. Most of it's gone. But you know, she's just an awesome lady to me, and she's dope. Talk about.
Okay. Martin Lawrence or Chris Tucker?
Martin Lawrence.
Martin Lawrence.
I love me some Martin. You
Which
so
Martin
crazy.
Lawrence though?
I like the
Skinny neck Martin Lawrence.
Yeah, I like the pre-crazy Martin Lawrence.
I don't know though, man. I mean,
Skinny neck Martin Lawrence was going against the tough Chris
Tucker is a nicer guy.
Right.
He's a nice, like Martin might steal on you. like I don't know if y'all know. Martin got a hit. Martin was like Golden Globe boxer. Like Martin used to be like knocking folks out back in the day. So you hear great stories about Martin. And I've met Chris. Chris is dope. Rodney Perry, man, take my number, man. Take my number. Call me, man. I said, Chris, you'll never return my call. I'm gonna call you back, Rodney Perry, man. I'll call you back.
See, I've never
so
met
yeah, so
him, so
forget Chris. Martin is better.
Okay, so Kevin Hart, Cat Williams.
You know what? Well, yes, pressure. I'm gonna go with Cat Williams because I'm from Buckeye State. You know what I mean? And when I first met him, he was like, "Look, Buckeye," and I didn't know if he was talking about where I was from on my eyes.
Oh, yeah.
I wasn't sure.
Hilarious.
I don't know what he was talking about, but that's my boy, and I like both cats. I like the crazy cat, and I like the cat before he, cat in the hat, like all that.
Gotcha.
Did you just call it man crazy?
I mean, y'all said he was crazy. I'm just saying what
y'all
they
ain't say nothing on TV.
Waiting for you outside.
You about to go viral.
All my people will be like, what you
Cat Williams and Kevin Hart. I'm gonna say Kevin Hart. I mean, they're both my peers. I think they're both awesome comedians. But Kevin is, Kevin is more likable right now.
Gotcha.
And but Cat is the dude. If you gotta fight, you want Cat. If you gotta have a good night,
right,
you want Kevin Hart.
Kevin's gonna turn up.
Kevin's gonna turn up. The party is crazy with Kevin.
Right.
Now, whenever we get a comedian here, before we let them go, we got to get this one question out the way.
Mm-hmm.
So before we let y'all go, I got to ask you this. My favorite comedian of all time, don't know why, I just do it, he's just hilarious to me. One-liner, the best one-liner I've ever seen. D.L. Hughley.
Oh, I love DL.
Love DL.
Oh, man, amazing.
Whenever DL comes to town, I get tickets to the show. He hit me up on Twitter, Instagram, all that stuff.
Nice.
Now, I've seen DL many times. I stood up at the end of DL Hughley's shows. The first comedian I stood up for when they came out was not too long ago. They came to Jacksonville. It was Kevin Hart.
Wow.
Who was the first comedian you stood up for when they first came out to the stage? Not a standing ovation at the end. When they first came out, you gravitated. I didn't even know I was up. I was floating.
Wow, that's interesting. That's a great question. You don't have an answer for that? Man, who? I saw Bill Cosby live.
Okay.
And I stood up.
You stood up.
I stood up. I mean, to watch a guy at 70 plus years old still captivate an audience is really awesome. I mean, we know older people in this country. When you start talking about racism and sexism, the biggest ism is ageism.
Right.
We don't respect old people.
Exactly.
And to watch an older man stand up there and not only rip like a young dude, but what was impressive about Bill Cosby is he didn't duplicate one joke that I'd ever seen him do. He did 2 hours. I was like, this dude is amazing. I not only stood up when he walked out, I stayed up.
Right. Stayed up.
The whole time. Dude, this dude's amazing. I mean, he's really amazing. I mean, sorry that all the stuff that's going on with him right now, but that don't affect him as a comedian. I think he's still an awesome comedian.
Now,
I feel like that about Dick Gregory. I love him. Just the history. When you watch him, it's like you're walking down like a historical path. And I guess it's the same way with you when you were watching Bill Cosby. But like I'm so young in the game, I've only been doing this for about 7 years. So it's kind of like, does that make me young in the game? I guess.
You just said 5 different numbers. So.
Well, I had to.
5, 6, 7.
I don't know. But anyway, I love me some Dick Gregory, and it's always nice to see someone that you can learn from. That's why I'm so grateful and appreciative to be on tour with Rodney Perry, because every time I'm out here, I learn a different way to just conduct myself on stage. It's amazing.
Right. Okay. Now, before we let you go, it's just to get serious for a minute. We're in the heat of something crazy in America right now. The Charleston shooting has occurred overnight last night. Still crazy. CNN is doing news. Fox is twisting it how they do.
It's amazing to me how they can do that.
They can twist the story.
Who was watching it?
I mean, you gotta watch to see what they're saying.
It's crazy. And I'm from Daytona Beach originally. I'm an hour away from Sanford where the Trayvon Martin thing happened. And I'm in Jacksonville right now where Jordan Davis was shot at the Gate gas station. We're in a time where the African American man, young man, is not making it to the age of 21, and now we have something like this occur. What are some words, especially to us college students, and we're at JU, we are the minority here. It's very seldom that I see someone who looks like me here.
Wow.
So what can I say to someone who looks like me here when I see them to motivate them to do the right thing?
Well, first of all, if you're here, you're ahead of the power curve.
Right.
If you're here, like I'm 44 years old. I've beaten most of the odds as a black man in this country. The fact that you're a college student, you've already beaten several of the odds in this country. You've made it out of teenagehood. You've escaped gang violence. You're still alive, so you're ahead of the power curve. I have a son, 22 years old, and the words I give him is pay attention. Watch your surroundings. I'm not the dad that says kiss people's butt. Right. Because that's some of the rhetoric you're hearing now. Well, how come? I mean, could the kids have been more respectful? Yes, maybe.
Maybe.
But still, the job of the police is to serve and protect.
Right.
Not to serve me a bullet,
right,
but to protect me as well. So at some point, we got to take responsibility for what I see in a large respect as murders.
Right.
So I don't think we're asking for a lot as a community. We're asking for somebody to take responsibility. In the case of Trayvon Martin, a case that never goes to court.
Right.
In the case of Ferguson, another case that never goes to court. Give us our day in court.
Right.
If I can piggyback on that, what I always tell people is, first of all, you got to get people in leadership that looks like you.
Right.
You can't just expect people to go to war for you on your behalf and they don't understand your struggle. You know what I'm saying? As a black man, you have the right to go in. See, it's bigger than that. It's bigger. People think, oh, I voted for the president, I'm going to vote for Senate, maybe Congress. No, you need lower level city leadership so that your messages, the things that you're dealing with on a day-to-day, go to the offices that are making big laws that
Politics doesn't start at the national level. Politics starts at your PTA.
Absolutely.
You know, politics.
Your city council.
As much as you can be involved, you got to be involved. Like, what do we do all the time when it's time to do jury duty? Right. We go out our way to get out of jury duty. Yeah. Right. But then you complain when you got a black case and no black jurors.
No black jurors. Right.
Like, you have to take that duty.
Right.
That's your civic duty. I stood jury duty probably 5 or 6 years ago. End up pulling a murder case. Right. The most stressful thing I've ever done in my life. But if I don't do that, then this guy don't get my opinion.
Right.
He don't get my opinion.
Right.
As an African-American male.
Right, and so that's why I always tell people it's more than just voting. You know what I'm saying? You got to get people in position to run. So I encourage you to say, if that's not your lane, you know, find somebody to say, you know what, brother, I see that you're really involved in the community. What do you need? Like, what do you need for us to support you to run? Right. Because his messages and the things that he's dealing with on a day-to-day basis, the same struggles that you have. And at the end of the day, if you don't have anyone that understands your struggle, now I'm gonna say this: a white man is not walking in a young African-American man's shoes, so he don't understand what it is like to when you get out your car.
Fair.
I mean, but listen to what I'm saying to you. I'm not saying they don't have a struggle. I'm saying it's a different set of struggles. Okay. So when, for example, as a black man, he came into this world already with a certain amount of frustrations and curses, and not curses, but you know, things that he has to deal with as a young African American man, that some struggles a white male don't have to deal with. So like, you can't just drive down the street with your music blazing, your hood on your head. Already you assume to be a thief or a thug or a something or something or something. Whereas the white boy was doing, it's a little different. They give him a pass. I just saw a meme. I mean, what is it? Memes, whatever. One of them things, you know. Meme. Whatever. On there, they had the guy. They had the young African American student face down, and then they had young white American students faced up, sitting on the curb, and they were saying, what is the difference here? You know, that we don't know what the crime was, we don't know why the police stopped them, but at the end of the day, automatically you have a police officer got his knee in the back of a young African American man, opposed to the opposite with the white male just sitting on the curb trying to figure out what's going on. Well, my message, if I can leave one with you, would be put someone in office that looks like you, that represents your struggle, that can relate to what you're going into. Not just vote, but run.
Gotcha. And that's real.
All right, I'm about to vote for you. Keanu for president.
Right, okay.
Or the PTA.
So y'all in Jacksonville tonight,
yes.
Savannah tomorrow, and then Tallahassee tomorrow.
Tallahassee on Sunday.
Tallahassee on Sunday.
Father's Day. Yes. All your single fathers, come on out. I don't know if I like your kids, but come bring them out. Let me see what you make. Let me see what you can make.
Well, there it is, everybody. The Off the Chain Comedy Tour. And Off the Chain, they run the specials on Bounce. Everybody having their own comedy specials.
Comedy specials is coming down the pipe. Mine is out there. It's a brand new one coming on this month. And man, shouts out to Bounce TV, man. When you start talking about black people on television, that's one of the great places to watch. And they're in 80 million households, including right here in Jacksonville.
Can we say this? First of all, Rodney Perry, he had the highest rated.
Highest rated.
I want you to say it again. Highest rated. I didn't hear that. Was I here? Did you say it in here?
I don't think so.
I don't think you said it in here. He had the highest. See how he do me? I'm trying to get him some accolades. Highest rated special of the network's history.
We're going to keep you on the tour, Keanu.
I'm not worried about me. We're talking about you. You play too much. I love Duval County. Thank you so much.
Well, there it is. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Rodney Perry in the booth.